Hi guys, welcome back to All Things Craft Beer. My name is Piers and I have a new beer to review today. I went on a craft crawl around the local off licences and wine shops to find some craft beer. Three in fact, this morning, and I actually ran to one of them, which was quite good. This is from the Anspach and Hobday brewery in London. This is the first I've heard of them, and it's their Cocoa and Oat Stout. This is a very smooth, velvety oatmeal stout. Speaking of oatmeal stout, I recommend one from Siren Brewery, if the name comes to me. It's not come to me. Yes, their Granola Coaster, Granola and Oatmeal Stout. I believe it has some oat in it as well. But moving on, this is a velvety oatmeal stout brewed with cocoa nibs, a blend of roasted and caramel malts, that gives flavours of chocolate, coffee and dark fruit, whilst the oats balance and round out the body. Cocoa nibs lend not only to rich chocolate flavours, but they also contribute to the smooth mouthfeel, rounded out by a touch of bitterness on the end, which is very much appreciated. As for any of the ingredients here, they've used the malts, including extra pale Marisotta, flaked oats, chit, chocolate Munich, and Munich black prunes, and special B malts. There's 7 different malts. As for the hops, they use Harlequin. I've noticed that on a few of the craft beers they use Harlequin hops. They've got US05 yeast and cocoa nibs, and its percentage ABV is 4.5% in a 440ml can. I'm very pleased that they've listed all the information possible on there. That gives me a very, very good context of what the beer's like, especially in terms of ingredients, that I can use this as a benchmark for further beer reviews where they use those hops, or at least if they don't specify them, I can identify which hops are being used. I've not tried this beer before, so let's give it a pour. Shouldn't be much of a head, but if there is, that'd be quite nice. There we are. Let's put this down there. So, this has a 1 finger head at best, half even, very, very dark, as you can see. On the nose, wow, I'm getting an interesting fruitiness. Definitely getting the cocoa, slight tang on there. Very slightly cherry-like, if I just check the can. Velvety, but should have dark fruit, yes. So, kind of gets an aroma of wild cherries. If you know your red wine, often you get a nice earthy wild cherry smell to them, wild fruits, dark. It's got that, but then of course coffee, because well, not coffee, but chocolate and cocoa nibs, because it is a stout and that's the ingredients used. But yeah, very interesting and good familiar smell. Very velvety, almost has that milk stout texture and flavour at the start, but that gets cut off abruptly halfway through. So you've got lots of the chocolate and caramel at the front, and then it flips. There's a 180, and then you've got dark wild fruit, possibly cherry, blackcurrant, that bitterness, and a very long-lasting, interesting, very slightly furry texture on the tongue. But that's a very interesting cocoa and oat stout indeed. As for any oatiness, mild, not really that oaty to be honest. I would have preferred it if it's thicker, oatier, etc. But I would argue, as a chocolatey oaty stout, this is quite unique in its own genre, because it's got that almost decadent, appreciative nature to it, whereby you would sip it slowly. So you've got some extremely dark, well-refined, expensive chocolate, for example, or a nice wine, things that you would consume in moderation and slowly, excuse me, and this definitely fits into that category of drinking or consuming in general. So it's a very, Very interesting, well-rounded beer. I wasn't expecting this, to be honest. In terms of the character and uniqueness, I would probably be inclined to give this an 8.5 out of 10. In terms of drinkability, a bit less. Carbonation, very low, of course. Wouldn't be a regular drinking beer, this one. But yeah, I'd say 6 out of 10 standard unbiased, considering likes of more regular drinkability, etc. But in terms of its uniqueness, that's almost an 8.5. So there we are. A very, very interesting beer. The Cocoa and Oat Stout by Anspach and Hobday, London. Thank you for listening.